It is 4 p.m. We're redeveloping news.
And the stories behind the headlines, this is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Wednesday, March 4. The House Committee on Justice has found that 2 surviving impeachment complaints against VP Sara Duterte both sufficient in substance. The complaints filed by Father Bong Saballa and lawyer Nathaniel Cabrera garnered an overwhelming 54 yeses from the panel, with Quezon City Representative Bong Suntay casting the lone negative vote. The raps, among others, cite Duterte's alleged misuse of 612.5 million pesos in confidential funds and a supposed kill plot against President Marcos, his wife, and his cousin.
Vice President Sara Duterte has filed a perjury complaint against her alleged former aide Romil Madriaga. That's over claims that her campaign was funded by drug dealers and offshore gaming operators. The complaint was filed before the Taguig City Prosecutor's Office earlier today. And through his lawyer, Madriaga says he stands by his sworn affidavit and is ready to defend it, adding that perjury cases should not be used to intimidate witnesses.
Meantime, foreign ministers of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, have expressed serious concern over the rapidly escalating conflict in the Middle East. In a joint statement, ASEAN urged all parties to respect international law and the UN Charter and warned that the situation poses a grave threat to civilians and to global stability. The regional bloc called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and maximum self-restraint. The exchange of attacks between Iran and the joint forces of the US and Israel have already left hundreds dead. The tension has likewise raised fears of a wider regional war.
Manila Electric Company, or Meralco chairman and CEO Manny Pangilinan, said the power distributor will review its fuel position and amid Middle East tensions, that could push electricity prices higher. Pangilinan said Meralco is working to keep power supply stable to protect consumers from possible price hikes. He also urged the public to conserve electricity, warning that the Philippines imports much of the fuel used for power generation. Grab Philippines has reacted to a Nikkei Asia article alleging that they charged riders over 230% for loans in-app. The article said that's about 5.5 times the maximum that credit card companies can charge. In a lengthy statement, Grab said before any loan is taken, partners are clearly shown the amount that they will repay as well as the repayment schedule. It pointed out that it does not charge late payment fees. Grab also said that these are short-term microloans with a fixed repayment amount and can't be compared to long-term loans with annualized interest rates. But the company did not dispute the interest rate that Nikkei reported, where the author says the daily repayment rates are much higher than advertised. And Quezon City's 4th District Congressman Bong Suntay has issued what he calls an apology. That's over an off-color remark about actress Ann Curtis during yesterday's House impeachment proceedings against Vice President Sara Duterte. Suntay drew backlash over that comment, further irking critics by saying that Curtis should take it as a compliment during an interview right here on Storycon. The Philippine Commission on Women called the remarks sexual objectification. And for her part, Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte reminded Suntay to uphold QC's Gender and Development Code and Bawal Bastos Ordinance, measures that he himself helped author. And here's Congressman Suntay this morning.
Kinalulungkot ko na lahat ng tao, lahat ng news outlets, lahat ng reporter ang binigyang pansin yung analogy kay Ann Curtis. Hindi natin binigyang pansin yung kaimportansyahan nitong impeachment hearing na ginaganap ngayon, itong sa Committee on Justice. We are trying to impeach the second highest elected official. Diba? Tignan natin kung ano yung allegations. Tignan natin kung may sapat, kung may substance talaga. Tignan natin kung paano boboto yung members ng committee. Yun ang mas importante.
Walang malis doon sa nanais nating gawin doon sa statement na yun. Ayaw natin makasakit through that analogy. But kung may nasaktan, humihingi tayo ng dispensa. Kay Miss Ann Curtis rin, kung nasaktan siya sa Senate, there was, ulitin ko, there was no malice intended at tayo humihingi ng dispensa sa kanya. Pero, well, totoo yung, it was a fictitious situation na aking ginawa. Isa lang ang totoo doon, yung sinabi ko ang ganda-ganda niya. Talaga naman maganda siya.
Well, binigyang pansin naman yung impeachment, Yesterday and today. There were the
okay.
major stories yesterday and today. The impeachment hearing in the Justice Committee.
We did cover it. But anyways, let's bring in Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamintuan now. Ami, welcome back. Wala ka na.
Hi, happy Wednesday.
Happy
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Oh, ano, it's Wednesday.
Hi, Ami.
Yeah. Hindi daw importante yung women's issues during Women's Month pa naman.
I didn't hear that, but what I will say is this. That was not an apology. There were too many qualifiers.
Mas importante daw yung
It was
impeachment.
it was an analogy. Number one, I apologize kung nasaktan ng feelings. If I offended anyone, that is not an apology, Congressman Suntay. And you should know better. What you said was repulsive, out of order, and certainly not becoming of a public official.
May batas dyan, he can be charged.
The Safe Spaces Act.
Yung bawal bastos.
Correct. And
Bawal bastos
the
law
irony,
against misogynistic.
the irony there,
And
from what we found out from Senator Risa Ontiveros, is that he helped pass that ordinance, yung bawal bastos ordinance, when he was a
Panahon yun ni President Duterte.
former.
No, it's not an ordinance. There's a law.
Yes, correct. But initially it was an ordinance that Congressman Suntay helped pass, a QC, whilst he was former council majority leader, and then it became a law. So which he helped pass, which obviously covers all lewd, malicious, and demeaning remarks against minorities and
lang,
against
pwede ka
women.
nang it's a criminal offense under that law. Pwede kang under the IRR implementing rules ng ombudsman.
Correct.
You can go to jail for up to 2 to 4 years.
It's
And
basically
fined 100,000 to 500,000.
it's all basically gender-based harassment, whether it's verbal, whether it's physical, whether it's psychological. All kinds of gender-based harassment are covered there, which begs me to question if naintindihan talaga ni Congressman Suntay who was covered in that law before he helped pass it, or maybe I don't know if he changed his mind. It's not clear to me kasi all of that is covered under the National Safe Spaces Act as well as the Bawal Bastos.
Kaya sino ba nagsabi na sa Congress minsan bigyan ka lang ng toilet paper, pipirmahan na?
Hindi nga
Was
nabasa.
that Ronald who said that?
Medyo matindi yung batas na yun. Hindi ba it was a controversial law actually dahil masyado daw matindi. Wolf whistling and cat calling. Pwede ka nang parusahan
It was sweeping. It was
Ito, nasa
sweeping.
house.
But the irony is that he's complaining that we're not giving attention to the impeachment complaint when he was the one
Parang
who brought up
headline nga namin yung impeachment.
when he was the one who brought up that analogy that was out of the blue. And
It also is
medyo malayo-layo yung
malayo. I mean, it's also a non sequitur analogy, right? I mean, what does his imagination have to do with the charges against Vice President Sara Duterte, which were on video, broadcast nationwide, and at that time she was the second highest, still is the second highest official of the land. I'm not sure the analogy, the logic that he was trying to draw there.
Yeah, he was trying to say yesterday na
Imaginary daw yung scenario ni Sara Duterte.
the comments about impeachment. No. They're
Wala
not
naman
censoring the
nag-censure.
comments about they're not censoring your comments about impeachment. They're censoring your analogy.
Oo.
Because
that was the
nobody,
one sticking off the record.
because it
was
didn't
not
follow.
the impeachment discussion.
Yeah, because it didn't follow.
Kasi, pwede mo naman sabihin, di ba? Ano lang naman yung sinasabi ni Vice President Duterte, kung sakali lang, di ba? Hindi pa naman mangyayari, merong conditional. But actually, isa pa yung pinag-uusapan. Conditional. But it's different.
No, remember when she said no joke, no joke. So what are we to...
No, ang ibig niya sabihin, merong condition si Vice President.
I know, but remember that video. But remember that video. VP Sara Duterte said no joke, no joke.
So she was not joking, but she was saying,
how are we supposed to
kapag ako
take her?
napatay, kapag ako napatay, may kinausap na ako, So yun lang,
Correct.
by
Yeah, and
by
then
a
she
long
said-
stretch of the imagination.
Exactly.
Yan ang
But
sinasabi
I
niya.
think we're referring to a different
Oo.
alleged
Magkaiba
threat.
nga eh. Kaya nga, that's
Kasi
why he's getting all this flack.
From what I understand, ang kanyang analogy was in response or in reaction to yung
Sabi
sinabi
niya,
ni
naging
VP Sara
imagination lang
na gusto
siya.
niyang pugutan ng ulo si Pangulong
Ah.
Marcos. Yun
Yung hiring an
hindi
assassin
yung
is separate.
assassin story.
Okay. Iba pa
Hindi yung
Hindi
assassination.
assassin story,
Okay.
yung gustong pugutan. Kaya sabi niya, desire
Wish
is
ko lang.
different from doing. Although in the revised penal code, there's also the grave threat
Yeah, oo.
violation.
Wish ko lang pala yon yung ganyan. Yung inaano niya.
So,
Anyway.
so if we were to
Hinihintay kong
follow,
pilot siya ng kaso ng Gabriela.
so if we were to follow his logic, we cannot take any public official at their word, essentially, right? Because if that's my imagination and I say it out loud, you can't
Yeah.
take me seriously at what I said. Is that what he's trying to say? I'm not sure, because I know what he's trying to do here, which is downplay what Vice President Sara Duterte said back in that 2024 midnight video.
Ngayon ako kasi, as far as I'm concerned, sige, ibang usapin yung problema ni VP Sara and
Oo
the
nga
impeachment case. That's for the Justice Committee to
Mahirap
decide
yan.
on.
Mahirap siyang i-align eh.
The focus yesterday was whether your remarks were appropriate, whether your analogy was appropriate or not. That's what it boiled down to. Kasi ginagano niya dun sa, hindi, let's talk about VP Sara. Wala yun. You guys decide on that as a committee and as a plenary. As of yesterday, the point was your remark, was your analogy appropriate? That was the question.
Yung imagination.
Everybody
Sabi niya pareho yung
clearly,
imagination.
which everybody clearly said was not appropriate, and I, as a woman, personally did not appreciate that. I thought that was quite demeaning, and I just want to also point out we did cover the impeachment hearings extensively yesterday, wall to wall. Yan. Of course, it's the biggest story of the day, right? So
And
we
today?
did it for 3 days here at One News.
And until today.
And correct. And the fact that he's trying to deflect here and saying, oh, why aren't you talking about the impeachment? Again, it does not follow, sir, because we did cover it. You just didn't see it, but that doesn't mean we didn't do it. We covered it extensively. But the issue yesterday was your very demeaning and lewd comments against the actress. Which brings us to today. Sorry, and some people
Oh,
also
siya lang yung ano.
pointing out
Siya
that
lang yung yung dissenting doon sa impeachment.
today,
At
some
least
people,
pinangatawanan. Ayan, kino-cover natin yan, how they voted.
correct. Some people are also pointing out that he is a family man with 2 daughters. I don't know how his wife feels at this point in time, or his daughters, how they think of his actions. But he is the sole dissenting voice in today's vote on the impeachment complaint. As we all know, as we just reported, it's been ruled sufficient in substance and form. So now it moves into the next phase.
Although no
The next phase
surprises
is,
there, no?
the next phase is
No,
or
yung
asking
timeline,
it's
Was
asking
it-
the respondent to respond
Correct.
to the charges if the
Pinadala na
respondent
siya.
so does desire to.
She was already informed that she
Okay.
has to reply within 10.
And
Ano yan? Session.
10 calendar days.
with session.
Calendar days.
But my
Calendar
understanding
days
that is
with session.
she's not required to. It's only an option. If she chooses to waive that right, then she can waive that right.
But
Can be made to appear.
But just now we got a response from her team, courtesy of our reporter in Davao, Bril Montalvo. It says, we have been informed of the vote of the House of Representatives, finding the 3rd and 4th impeachment complaints sufficient in form and substance. At this stage, the Vice President's legal team will carefully review the actions taken by the House and the committee, as well as the records of the proceedings. For now, we will refrain from discussing the substance of the case in the media and will instead address these matters through the proper constitutional process. So, in short, they are still reviewing at this point and haven't decided if they will respond to this impeachment complaint vote.
I think the timeline is 10 days for her to respond.
10,
correct.
If she does want to respond.
Plus
and then
another
after that,
3 days.
for the accusers to respond to her response.
So 10 calendar days with session yan ha, malinaw ba tayo dyan?
10 calendar days.
Tama ba yun? 10 calendar
I think it
days
was
with
just-
session?
Sure.
I think it was just
Yan
10
ba ibig
calendar
sabihin?
days.
Let's ask the reporter.
I think it was just 10 calendar days if I understood correctly. But anyways,
We get details from the House Justice Committee's vote
sige.
on the Duterte impeachment from News 5 correspondent Marian Enriquez. Marian, anong intindi mo? Ano yung timeline na inaasahan
Ano
natin
yung
for
10
next
days?
few weeks?
Nilinaw nga yan ni Chairperson Jervy Luistro na 10 calendar days po itong tinutukoy doon sa oras o yung pagkakataon nga na makasagot itong si VP Sara Duterte dito sa dalawang inihaing reklamo nga laban sa kanya. So kanina itong Justice Committee pinag-utos na na magpadala nga ng notice. Kalaki po doon yung dalawang impeachment complaints, yung mga kopya po noon sa kampo po ni VP Sara, and then yung 10 calendar session days doon po yung mag-uumpisa pagka-receive po ng kanyang kampo, and then the complainants will be given 3 calendar days para naman mag-reply dito sa magiging sagot ng bise, and then another 3 calendar days po para naman sa rejoinder ni VP Sara. So, more or less 16 days po yung bibilangin natin. And tatama na po yan sa mahal na araw. Kaya nga po ayon kay Congresswoman Luistro, ang tinitignan po nila April 8, sila muling magmi-meeting para naman tukuyin. Magde-deliberate po sila para naman po i-determine kung sufficient po yung grounds nitong mga reklamo, at saka po doon sila magbobotohan para naman po kung tutuloy ba sa pagiging hearing proper o yung pagdinig. Balik sa inyo.
Wait, April 8, magde-decide kung sufficient ang grounds para sa reklamo, o what exactly are they trying to determine by that point?
Actually, yan yung tinanong din natin kay Congresswoman Luistro. Ano ba yung gagawin dito sa pag-determine kung sufficient ba yung grounds? Basically, dahil nga raw lumusot na nga ito sa sufficiency and substance, so nakikita nila na mukhang ganun lang din. It's like for formality sa pag-uusad nila sa magiging hearing proper. Bok.
So, teka, it's March 4 now, no? When you say calendar
Oo nga,
days...
kailan nag-umpisa yun? Kailan nag-umpisa yung 10 days?
Bok, tsaka klarin mo yung calendar days. When you say calendar days, does that refer to
na may
weekdays
session.
lang or including weekends and so on down the line?
Yes. That's on, including weekends po yan. When we
Okay.
say
Including
10 calendar
weekends.
days, mag-uumpisa po yan oras na matanggap ng kampo, Kasi ngayon ay pinag-utos pa lang na pagpadala ng notices o dun sa kampo ni VP Sara. So once they received it, malalaman natin kung kailan yan. Bisuhan naman tayo ng komite, Doon na po papatak yung pisa ng 10 calendar days para po not exceeding 10 calendar days, So yung maximum po yun na makasagot itong kampo ni VP Sara. Tapos lahat po to ng mga pleadings, isa-sworn in din po ito, hopefully then by April 8, pag-convene ulit ng komite.
Tapos pag-convene
Paano
ng komite...
tuloy-tuloy ang nila, tuloy-tuloy ang process nila even during their magbe-break na sila, di ba? So tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung mga hearing nilang yan on the impeachment.
Yan nga, tama ka dyan, Nilinaw yan ni Congresswoman Luistro even during her press con yesterday. Sinabi po niya na even during the recess, habang naka-break po yung Kongreso, magtutuloy-tuloy po sila ng kanilang mga pagdinig. And yun nga, sinabi po niyang initial na date ng muli nilang pag-meeting ay April 8.
And on April 8, it's the full Justice Committee as well that's going to vote on the grounds, or is it a smaller group?
It's still the Justice Committee, Yung nakita nating committee kanina, yun pa rin, magbobotohan naman sila, i-declare kung sufficient yung grounds para nga umusad na doon sa hearing proper. Sa hearing proper naman, doon naman natin makikita, iimbitahan na yung mga complainant, mga testigo, yan sina Madriaga, maging yung respondent, na kay VP Sara yan, prerogative niya kung dadalo po siya sa magiging pagdinig. Tapos siya na magkakaroon ng cross-examination, maglalabasan na ng mga ebidensya, at doon pa sa dulo, malalaman, magbobotohan naman yung for probable cause bago nga ito dalhin sa plenaryo.
You're looking at two impeachment complaints, number 3 and number 4. Yung consolidation, does that take shape after yung hearing nila, or how does that work?
Bok, tinanong natin din yan kay Congresswoman Luistro, and ang tingin niya, mangyayari pa ito sa dulo pa, yung consolidation na itong dalawang reklamo pagka-determine ng probable cause bago nga po ito dalhin sa plenaryo. Doon daw niya nakikita nagkakaroon nga ng consolidation itong dalawang reklamo.
Okay. I
So,
just
Marian, out na ba yung Out na yung fast track mode? Pwede bang
Oo,
sabihin
hindi.
natin na out na yun?
Walang-wala na yon, hindi na, wala nang pwede maghain ng fast track mode kasi itong dalawang reklamo na to at ito nga yung mas matagal na proseso yun sa dumaan pa sa komite. Ito po yung dinidinig na yon, wala nang ibang
Yung
pwede
regular.
pa pong maghain. Yes, na fast track or another impeachment complaints. Next year na po ulit yan pagkatapos ng 1-year bar rule. Yan ay kung hindi pa may impeach si VP Sara sa pagkakataong ito.
I just want to be clear kasi I'm not sure kung if you had in the past 2 impeachment complaints consolidated into one. When they consolidate ba 2 impeachment complaints into one, that is not necessarily a new impeachment complaint, no? Kasi that would then, I mean, the argument could be made that that's a new complaint that is already part of the bar, the 1-year bar. Pag nag-consolidate ba, hindi siya new complaint?
Hindi siya new. Kung maalala niya siguro kung paano, though syempre iba pambihirang pagkakataon ng impeachment, pero siguro tingnan natin siya kung paano yung mga bills na, for example, ang anti-political dynasty bills or bills na may mga magkakapareho, maraming naghain na iba-iba lang version. Ang ginagawa nila, nagpa-file sila ng substitute bill, which is yun yung ina-adapt ng komite. So dito naman sa pagkakataon nito, bago nga nila i-approve, bago sila magpasa naman ng committee report, yun nga yung pagkatapos daw ng probable cause, pag-determine ng probable cause, doon i-consolidate itong dalawang reklamo, pagsasamahin lamang. Hindi naman siya necessarily ibig sabihin it's a new complaint. So pagsasamahin itong dalawang reklamo at doon nga bubuo siguro nung tinatawag natin yung mga articles of impeachment, pagsasamahin yan at saka nila dadalhin sa plenaryo and then another pagbobotohan na naman doon.
Yeah, I asked that kasi siyempre ordinary bills do not have a 1-year bar eh. Baka mamaya maging back and forth na argumento yan na teka, bago ba yan pag bumuo ka ng isang panibagong impeachment complaint based on the 2 that were already found sufficient in informal substance? I'm just tossing that on the table to see kung merong if that's been addressed or that's been asked already.
Pero hindi pa nga yan very extensive na pinag-usapan. Pero doon sa base sa initial nating panayam kay Luistro, yun yung nakikita nga niya. Pagkatapos pa ma-determine kung may probable cause itong impeachment kay VP Sara, doon daw i-concern or pagsasamahin nga itong dalawang reklamo.
Okay.
Marian, in determining probable cause, may posibilidad ba na mabuksan yung bank accounts ni Vice President Duterte? Kasi merong mga ganyang kumakalat na story na even during at that point, pwede na nilang pabuksan eh. Hindi ko alam kung paano gagawin. Pero
Yun nga rin,
ba
yun nga rin yung tinitingnan natin, kung posible ba yan na mabuksan na sa AMLAC ngayon or baka doon pa sa Senado, sa trial. Pero sa ngayon, hindi pa masyado pinag-uusapan when it comes to sa evidentiary phase. Kasi even nga yung kanina, yung kung maalala po ninyo doon sa hearing, kini-question ni Bong Suntay kung sino ba tong si Madriaga? Paano natin paano tayo aasa lamang doon sa affidavit ng isang nakakulong na preso? Meron ba tayong ebidensya na magko-connect nga na in-employ siya? Meron bang mga appointment papers na kinuha siya ni VP Sara? Tinabla nga yun ni ML Party List Representative Leila de Lima na teka lang, are we talking about the credibility na ba ng witness? Wala pa tayo dyan. It's premature pa raw na pag-usapan nga yung evidentiary phase dahil sa ngayon, ang tinutukoy pa lang is kung may basehan nga ba, ka-impeach nga ba si VP Sara.
It's a good thing Ami brought that up eh. The question about the bank accounts, are they in the impeachment complaints? They are, no? The number 3 or number 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Kasama rin yun kasi gusto rin nga nilang makita yung wealth ni VP Sara na bakit paano daw lumobo o lumaki yung ari-arian ng bise. Kanina nga, during the deliberation, itong si Bicol Soro Party List Representative Terry Ridon, binanggit niya yung dalawang salin, may pinakita siya. 2023, nasa 70 million mahigit lamang yung salin ni VP Sara. Tapos nung 2024, 88.5 million. Kung ikukumpara daw to, sobrang laki ng itinaas kasi nung 2008, nasa 18 million pesos lang daw ito. So, gusto niyang patignan din sa komite kung paano nga malalaman or paano nangyari yun, Dapat matukoy yun kung paano nga itong unexplained wealth daw ng bise.
which
Kasi
I guess will be answered if we go to trial.
Yeah.
Ami?
Yeah. Can I change topic? Tatanong ko lang yung ano ko, ano nangyari kasi medyo nagkakagulo din sila about the dynasty bill
Yeah.
na pinasa nung panel, no? Panel pa lang naman eh. Marian, mapapalitan pa ba yon? Kung ano yung in-endorse ng House panel kasi nagrereklamo nga yung isang block, ano? Na it's a watered down anti-dynasty bill.
Ang naalala ko, Ami, kasi hindi ko natutukan dahil sa impeachment tayo kasabay nung anti-political dynasty na naalala ko nga nagkaroon na sila, nag-adapt na sila. Pero ang huli nating panayam noon kay suffrage chair Zia Alonto Adyong, yung in-adapt ay yung kopya o yung version ng House leaders ni Speaker Boji D at ni Majority Leader Sandro Marcos. We even asked that during the press con kasi some experts would say na this is a weak bill. So I even asked them, are we pushing for a weak anti-political dynasty bill? Tapos sinabi nila na hindi, kasi ito daw yung tingin nilang balanse, kumbaga, no, yung fourth consanguinity, no, fourth degree of consanguinity. Kasako po dyan mula sa asawa, anak, pamilya, yung immediate family hanggang sa mga pinsan, tito, tita. So sinasabi nila, pero yun nga, nililegitimize kasi yung yung dynasty sa local. So, ibig sabihin, ako, kunyari, tatakbo akong governor sa probinsyang to, okay lang ba yung kapatid ko tatakbo sa ibang probinsya?
Correct.
So, di ba parang ang nangyayari? Pwede naman pala kahit iba-iba lang tayo, kumalat na lang tayo. So, gano'n yung dating napaka malamnam, kumbaga. And hindi nga yun nagustuhan ng ilang mga kongresista. And I understand si Kong De Lima, nag-withdraw na rin siya ng co-authorship. Authorship niya, pati si Kong Egerice. So, yun nga, kasi parang sa kanila, gusto yata ni Egay before, dalawa lang sa pamilya ang tatakbo. Pero dito, kung makikita natin yung bill, talagang nililegitimize, parang in-institutionalize pa nga yung mga dynastiya sa lokal.
Yeah.
But to be clear about it, that involves kasi clustering. Ibig sabihin,
clustering, yun sinasabi.
ibig sabihin, kung magkakaiba kayo ng jurisdictions, ng political jurisdictions, kahit magkamagkana kayo, pwede kayong tumakbo.
You can run at the same
ibang
time.
cluster kayo.
In fact, nung
political
nag-file ng
jurisdiction.
ganyang bill, nagsalita ang Malacanang, di ba, na ayaw nga nila ng ganyang bill kasi magagalit daw mga tao kapag ganyan.
It's House Bill 6771. And to be honest, as far back as months ago, Ami, remember when we spoke to Congresswoman Janet Garin? Ito na rin yung sinabi niya.
She was talking about it, actually.
She was already hinting that this might be the version that gets passed because it is seen as the best compromise because obviously it was authored by Speaker Boji D and also
Sandro Marcos.
Congressman Sandro Marcos. Okay, we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for your reporting.
Wait lang, pero meron akong gustong i-share.
Go
One
ahead.
important thing to note din pala dito sa political dynasty. Kasi tinignan ko yung version ng Senate bill. Meron silang bawal yung succession. Kumbaga, yung kamag-anak ko yung susunod sa akin, bawal yon. Pero dito sa bill nila Congressman Sandro Marcos and Boji D, hindi pinagbabawal yun.
Correct.
So, yun, malalaman natin kung paano nila to, pagdating ng BICAM man, paano nila to i-reconcile. Bawal
correct.
ba o hindi? Kasi kung may succession, papayagan mo parang wala naman din talaga. Hindi naman yan talaga anti-political dynasty.
And that's what the political scientists are also saying. It actually is, si July Tihanki called it actually a pro-dynasty law because it will allow immediate succession, thereby letting families, relatives rotate seats, pass seats amongst themselves. And then wala din, it's also silent on the party list, on party lists. And in this dynasty, which we all know that some people take advantage of that, going through the back doors of the party list system to gain seats in the lower house.
At saka masasabi nila, we complied now with the constitutional mandate. We passed the law. Actually, institutionalizing dynasties.
Institutionalizing dynasties. And of course, House Bill 6771 will still allow the so-called fat dynasties.
Fat dynasties,
They will still enable them.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for your reporting. News 5's House correspondent, Marian Enriquez.
Thanks, Marian.
Thanks, Marian.
July Tihanki called the House version a total cop-out. And like I said, he said if this version prevails, we will see a pro-dynasty law. It's not in the...
Maayos pa ba siya? Can the plenary reject pa naman, ano?
The plenary can, but
The plenary
how
can
many of
interject
them?
amendments. You have a period of amendments.
Amendment.
Yeah. But it will have to be accepted by
Oo nga.
Kasi yesterday was the
Sponsor.
House Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reform, so it's
Yeah.
just a committee level. But yun nga, they voted to consolidate all 25 versions of the anti-political dynasty bill and adopt House Bill 6771 as the working basis for the committee report, which makes me wonder.
Baka gusto muna nilang makita kung ano reaction ng mga tao. Kaya
Baka.
magprotesta kayo na magprotesta.
Yes, and then it also
Diba?
raises a question of how different the other 24 bills are. Kung
Yeah.
na-consolidate nila and have enough basis to use House Bill 6771 as the
Yeah.
working draft, how different are those other
Sure.
bills, diba? Although
Diba?
we know the one that was filed by the Makabayan Bloc was, I think, a lot stricter, on a lot more stringent on the rules of the definition of dynasties as well. So,
Kaya yan. Kailangan marinig ang sentimento ng tao.
oh yeah, yun yung headline mo bukas, Ami.
No, they're supposed to be, di ba, conducting public consultations pa lang. Bakit bigla-biglang nagkaroon ng ganyan? They are supposed to be conducting public consultations
because everybody's focused on impeachment.
nationwide.
Wait, to be fair, I think they did conduct public
Yeah, they did.
consultations in the previous
around.
months. They went around. We know
Yeah.
some people who were brought in to share their opinion on the bills
Yes.
that are circulating.
And the committee went around. I remember they went, I think, to Cavite. saw
I think
one video
Luzon,
they went to Cavite.
lang di ba? One sa Luzon, one sa
I don't know
Visayas,
exactly
one
where
sa...
else they went, but they have gone around a few places.
Pero hindi lang siguro na maybe it was not open to the media. Okay, we have to go on a very quick break. You are watching Storycon on One News. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
We've got developing news in the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Regina Lay. So with us, Sammy Pamintuan of the Philippine Star.
Okay, so our other guests for today are going to be former Senator Trillanes, and then later on we will have the Philippine ambassador to the
UAE, si Ambassador Alfonso Ver.
Yeah, but that's
Who's
going to
the
be
son. We had to look this up. We were wondering if he was related to General Ver, and he is the son.
He's the son?
He's the son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
What's his name?
Alfonso
Alfonso Ver.
Ver,
Ambassador
Alfonso
to the
Ver.
UAE.
Philippine
hindi ko.
Ambassador to the
Hindi ko
UAE.
kilala yun. Ang mga kilala kong mga anak ni Ver used to be part of the Presidential
Yung
Security
si
Command.
Rexor and
Rexor and the other one.
forgot the name.
Dalawa
Look it
sila.
up.
oo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dalawa sila.
Weirlo ba yun? Or anyway,
Werlo, no?
Werlo? No?
Werlo, tatlo sila, isa pa.
Weirlo and
Isa
Rexor.
pa.
Okay, anyway, sige. Let's move
Okay,
on.
let's move on. Let's bring in our first guest this afternoon. We're talking to former Senator Sonny Trillanes. Welcome back to Storycon, sir.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo, kasamang Ed, Miss Ami, and Miss Regina.
Magandang hapon,
Hi,
sir.
Senator.
Sir, sino gusto mo na?
Go ahead.
Sir, si Kaufman, he says he wants to ask the ICC to require full disclosure of documents related to your involvement dun sa ICC. I suppose that includes yung suporta sa mga witnesses. But what's your response to that?
Alam niyo po, as I expected, yung press ko nila last week ay gagamitin ni Kaufman para mag-plant ng seeds of doubt that can be used either to push for a mistrial or to insinuate na corrupted yung mga investigators or polluted yung mga evidence and witnesses na nakalap ng ICC. So yun yung we predicted that last week pa, ngayon ginagamit na nga. Okay, ang sagot ko po dyan, go ahead. Di ba? The way Mr. Kaufman is stating these things is as though meron akong ginawang krimen or merong violation akong ginawa. I admitted ever since, nung nag-file kami noong 2017, continuous yung engagement with the ICC. Tumutulong ako sa pagkalap ng ebidensya, mga testigo, para ma-build yung kaso kay Duterte. But never kami nagbigay ng mga corrupted source or ng witnesses or evidence, at definitely hindi kami nagbigay ng pera sa mga taga-ICC. So, sige. Ngayon, ang masasabi ko sa kanya, si Mr. Kaufman, ever since na nakuha nila to last year, talagang naghahanap buhay lang. He just needs to come up with one absurd legal theory after another just to earn his keep. That's all there is.
The other thing that's come out, Senator, is that
Yeah.
you introduced some ICC, I don't know if they're investigators or just ICC personnel, to Ombudsman Remulla daw about a year ago. Could you shed some light on that meeting and what happened there? Because he also didn't give us a whole lot of details around it. All he said was that ikaw daw yung nagpakilala.
And that was acknowledged by Remulla himself in a press con, I think, or in an ambush interview the other day.
Okay, ito po, no? Ina-admit ko nga po, no? In general terms, ako ay nakikipag-ugnayan sa ICC. Tumutulong ako sa pagkalap ng ebidensya at mag-facilitate ng kung anong mga meeting sa iba't ibang mga personalidad at para sa ikabubuti nung kaso laban kay Duterte. Ngayon, the specific operations, the specific meetings, I would not be in a position to confirm or deny dahil ano po 'yan, no? Merong mga complications involved 'yan. Yung saan sila nag-meeting, sino ka-meeting, hindi ako pwedeng magsalita about that kasi malalagay sa panganib kung sino man yung masasabi.
So all you did was introduce the two ICC personnel to Ombudsman Remulla and you did not join the meeting after?
Ganito po. Again, I will say, since 2017, nakikipag-ugnayan ako sa ICC, tumutulong ako sa pagkalap ng testigo, ebidensya, at even sa pag-facilitate ng mga iba't ibang meeting para sa kaibubuti or ikalalakas ng kaso labang kay Duterte. Ganun po yan. That's all that I can say. Yan po.
Senator, siyempre alam mo naman natin,
Opo.
because of the nature of this crime, siyempre kailangan tulungan yung mga relatives ng victims and yung mga survivors para magsampan yung kaso doon sa malayo-layong dahig. And it's a foreign body, no? Meron bang specific prohibition sa pagtulong sa ganun under ICC rules? Kasi
Wala.
kahit yung pagdadala doon kay ang pagkaalam namin, yung ICC, pag meron silang inisyuhan ng arrest warrant, kahit anong, no matter the mode of getting that person and transferring him to ICC custody, hindi naman nila pinapansin. Sa ganyan, meron bang prohibition? Yung mga pagtulong
Wala
sa
po.
mga, para makapagsampa ng kaso, meron bang specific prohibition?
Okay, wala pong prohibition. In fact, back in 2017, when we filed that case sa ICC, member pa tayo. Tapos nagkaroon na po ng ruling ang Supreme Court na nire-recognize sila na from 2011 to 2019 ay nire-recognize sila yung jurisdiction ng ICC sa Philippines Philippine case kasi tayo pa ay membro pa at that time. 'Di ba? Po, hindi lang 'yan. Meron po tayong batas, Republic Act 9851 na nakalagay po doon sa Section 17 doon sa jurisdiction, sinasaadot na kung merong isang akusado ng isang international tribunal, ay pwede natin ito isurrender doon
Yes.
sa body na yon, imbis na imbestigahan natin dito. Maliwanag po yung batas na yon. It was never declared unconstitutional. It was passed way back in 2009. So, walang bawal. Kasi nga, pag sinasabi lalo na ng mga Duterte supporters, uy, nakikipag-ugnayan sa ICC. What is wrong with that? Di ba? Sabi ko nga, noong ko pa sinasabi. In fact, in-inform ko regularly dito po sa inyong programa. Ina-update ko po kayo. But there are things that I cannot say because of the highly sensitive nature of the ICC operations. Hindi talaga pwedeng sabihin kung kailan sila nandito, saan
Okay.
sila pumupunta, meeting, etc.
Okay.
Sir, kasi Attorney Baligod is also accusing the ICC of, let me use the words that he also chose, graft, corruption, and bribery. But as far as bribery is concerned, ang qualifier ngayon ni Baligod is that it's not bribery as in money given directly to the ICC investigators, but money that allegedly came from Zaldico, allegedly afflicted by association with the flood control projects, being used to wine and dine and house and transport ICC investigators. Yun po ang kanyang ini-imply dun sa affidavit niya at dun sa interview with us last week. How do you respond to that po? Is there any connection, any association between Zaldico and logistical support for the ICC?
I've actually asked him that last week, but go ahead, sir. So I know you're gonna say that's all not
Okay.
true, but if you could also give some context kung paano tayo napunta
Okay,
doon.
ganito po. So, narinig ko yung press ko ni Baligod. Narinig ko yung kanyang nagpa-interview sila doon sa kabilang programa sa isang doon show. Tapos itong kanilang affidavit na may nabigay ng $2 million na ibinigay para sa mga foreigners daw that who turned out to be the ICC. Hindi po totoo yan. Sinasabi ko, gawa-gawa nila yan. Ito ay parang magtanim ng intriga, magtanim ng doubt dito sa integrity ng ICC sa kanilang operations. Ngayon, hinahaluan nila na tipong pinapakita nila, alam namin, dito sa ganitong hotel sila pumunta, sinundo namin sa airport. Dalawang party yung kanilang aligasyon na sila yung nag-provide ng security at merong parte na nagbigay sila ng pera, whether through me or directly o kung ano man. Doon sa parte na nagbantay sila, sabi ko nga, I am ready to concede. Tipong, sige, assuming nagbantay kayo, what is wrong with that? Assuming nagbantay kayo doon sa ICC, nakita nyo yung mga kausap, saan nyo dinala, mga testigo, what is the crime there? Walang krimen doon, doon sa parte na yon. O ngayon, punta tayo dito, hahaluan nila, binombard nilang ng detalye rito to remove any doubt na talaga nagbantay sila. O sige, nagbantay, yung ilan doon, assuming natin kung meron man. Ngayon, ang tanong dito, hahaluan nila nung maleta na pera para ngayon, magkaroon ng medyo sensational yung kanilang allegation. Kasi if you take that out, ang lalabas lang dito, nagbantay kayo dun sa ICC at some point, which is not a crime. Walang problem, walang mali doon. Pero meron silang krimen na ginawa dahil, according to the ICC prosecutors na to, deliberate intimidation, yung pag-out sa identity nila, the names and the photos sa kanila, pati sa mga witnesses. Bawal yun dun sa Article 70 ng Rome Statute. Kaya yan yung abangan nila, no? So, dito, pag tinanggal mo rito, again, I vehemently deny na may natanggap ako na $2 million sa kanila or any amount para sa ICC operations or for any other purpose coming from Saldico. So, yan, kaya nga kakasuhan ko sila bukas na, no? I'll be filing the case tomorrow. Para sige, ilabas nyo kung ano yung meron nyo tungkol dito sa bigayan ng pera, Hindi doon sa pagbabantay. Kasi doon sa pagbabantay, kahit nga kinukonsid ko una-una, there's nothing libelous doon sa ginawa nyo. But, there's a crime doon sa sa part ng sa ICC. Ngayon, let me just add, kung kaya kong suhulan ng $2 million yung mga ICC investigators, di ba sana sinuhulan na lang ni Digong na mas malaki pa? Kahit $100 million yun para mawala na yung problema niya. Kasi monthly lang ni Kaufman yun eh. Di ba? It totally, it doesn't make sense at all. Pero sige, ito, sinasagot ko pa rin, just the same.
What are you filing tomorrow? Exactly what case?
Cyber libel and other violations sa revised penal code. Si Levi Baligod, yung 18 ex-soldiers, si Jay Sonsa, si Lorraine Badoy at saka si Cathy Binag. Sila ang kakasuhan ko.
Wala na si Mike Defensor. Mati Mike Defensor.
Actually, just a bit of breaking news right now. National Security Advisor Eduardo Año has also filed a criminal complaint against the 18 ex-Marines, Attorney Levi Baligod and former Congressman Mike Defensor. Ang charge niya is violation of Article 154 of the Revised Penal Code for unlawful means of publication and unlawful utterances. But was there anything? So as far as we know, kasi this group, the 18 Marines, although the Philippine Marines has already said not all of them were ex-service members, was there anything in the affidavit and that had a basis in truth that you found was somewhat accurate?
Kaya ang sinasabi ko nga po, I am ready to concede yung parte na nagbantay sila dun sa ICC.
Okay, yung bantay. Okay.
Nasumundo sila sa airport kasi nagbigay sila ng mga picture eh. Personally, I don't know these people. Personally, no? So, I wouldn't know kung sino sa kanila ang nagbantay dyan o hindi. But the thing is, dun sa nire-report nila na yon, yung detalye na yon, walang mali doon eh, walang krimen doon. Pero suddenly hahaluan nila nito ng ganitong mga intriga, ganitong allegation to basically yun na nga, create doubt sa integrity dito ng ICC investigator. So kaya ito na, ginagamit na ni Kaufman as we have expected. Yun po yun.
Pero sir, nga naman, kung bantay nga na naman, wala namang krimen doon. Although on the other hand, by implication kasi...
Let me just add.
Yes, sir.
Let me just add, Ed. Sabi nila, doon sa affidavit nila, nagbantay sila starting 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos...
December 2023.
2026 na ngayon. Kung talagang karumal-dumal yung pagbabantay sa ICC at illegal, bakit hindi sila lumabas anytime ng part na yon? At sana nung lumabas si Gutesa na nagsabi ng kung ano-ano, sana lumabas sila doon, sinuportahan nila yon. Di ba? That was the perfect time to do that. Bakit hindi nila ginawa?
They said they had to gather some details, get organized behind the scenes. That's why they only started getting together October, November last year?
Yes, but di ba yung details niyan, di ba nasa memory mo yan kung talaga nangyari yan? Di ba? Dito mo makikita na talagang ginawa ito, inorchestrate ito, diniktahan itong mga to, at hindi kayo magugulat later on pag umamin niya mga yan, na may nagbayad sa kanila. Para to say all these things. Huwag kayong magugulat. Kasi doon pupunta yan, I assure you.
In the meantime, Senator, yung mga accusation ni Kaufman, they're serious, no, against you. Have you had communication from the ICC para pasagutin kayo dun sa mga accusation na yan?
I'm sure they will find a way to communicate with me kung ano yan. Pero I'm not worried about those things. Kasi alam ko yung ginawa ko. Wala akong tinamper na witness. Wala akong tinamper na mga dokumento. Di ba? I just did what I needed to do para sa kaso na yan. Ganun yun eh. Kasi ang imputation dito is parang gawa-gawa lang lahat. Yung mga testigo, di ba, na diniktahan ko, binayaran ko. Eh dito siguro sa Pilipinas, yung fake news factory nila, kaya nilang mauto yung mga supporters nila. But dun sa ICC, it won't wash. Pasensyahan na lang sila. Hindi ako I won't be cowed here. If their intention is to out me para lang I'd be cowed into submission, well, hindi ubra yan.
Can I come back to the meeting that you facilitated with
Yeah.
Ombudsman Remulla and the ICC personnel? It's still unclear to me. Bakit ikaw yung nag-facilitate, sir? Why? I mean, there's so many ways to get to Ombudsman Remulla. Why does it have to be you who has to introduce the ICC personnel to him? Like, I get that you filed one of the first cases against former President Duterte, but again, there's many other people they could have gone through.
Again, pasensya na lang po, but I am ready to admit that I facilitated meetings with so many people para lang sa pag-develop ng kaso kay Digong. But I cannot confirm or deny anything, yung mga specifics niya. Kung sino yung ka-meeting nila, kung ano, hindi talaga pwede. Pasensya na lang po.
Sir,
Senator, pahabol na lang. Baka may balita ka kung kailan lalabas yung more arrest warrants kasi may mga co-perpetrators na pinangalanan.
Eh alam nyo, because of what they're doing now, talagang mas ginaganahan akong magsaliksik para talagang mapaspasan na yung mga yan. Di ba? Kasi yan na lang eh. That's all they have to throw a monkey wrench against the whole thing. And let me just, Miss Regina, yung, without confirming anything, even assuming nangyari ang meeting na yan with then Secretary Boying Rimulya, what's the crime? What's wrong with that? Diba? So yun palagi kasi the way they're framing it, parang may maling ginawa eh. Aha, na-confirm, nahuli. Ano yun? What's that all about? Diba?
But sir, tuhuin ko na rin yan kasi I was trying to ask a question kanina. Let me get back to that again. Tama nga naman, kung bantay nga naman, bantay lang sila or kaya nag-meeting kayo with Remulla, there would be no crime there to begin with. However, the implication would be na kasi these people are claiming that they were security personnel of Zaldico. So by implication, magmumukha
collusion.
na Zaldico had a hand in putting together or in assisting in the logistics of the ICC, at least in the security sector.
I wouldn't know. But remember, si Zaldico ngayon lang naman naging kalaban ng gobyerno yan. But before that, early on, he was with the administration. So, hindi na imposibleng mangyari yun. Diba? But, yun na nga eh. Maliwanag yung ginawa ko. Wala akong ginawang krimen. At dun sa pagbabantay ng ICC, kay kaninong bodyguard pa yan ni Zaldico or whoever, yung kung ano man yung nakita nila, walang mali doon. In fact, it was supposed to be their patriotic duty to keep them safe. Pero dahil nga sa mga motivations at incentives na binigay sa kanila ng mga handlers sila, they turned their backs on that patriotic duty and risked the lives of the people they were protecting. Pati testigo, biruin mo, picturean mo, pangalanan mo. Unforgivable yung ginawa nila na yan.
To the best of your knowledge, did former Congressman Zaldico have any involvement at all? I don't mean, doesn't have to be direct, but it can be indirect. Did he have any involvement at all in the ICC case, as well as the flood, so of course flood control, he's been named as one of the involved, pero dun sa ICC case at least?
I wouldn't know. Gano'n na lang po.
Okay.
Okay?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maraming salamat for talking to us on Storycon, former Senator Antonio Trillanes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator.
Salamat po.
And we're on until 5:30 p.m. Storycon will be right back after a quick break. Please stay tuned.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
Welcome back to Storycon. I'm Regina Lee.
I'm Ed Lingao, and with us, Ami Pamintuan of the Philippine Star. Hi, Ami.
Hi, andyan na yung guest natin.
Si Ami, timbre. Hundreds of Filipinos in Dubai have reportedly asked for repatriation assistance owing to the Middle East conflict. The United Arab Emirates, or UAE, is excluded from crisis alert levels of the Department of Foreign Affairs, but of course, risks remain. Let's bring in Philippine Ambassador to the UAE, Ambassador Alfonso Ver. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share information and update all of you and our kababayans their situation here in the UAE.
Oh, first of all, I need to set the record straight. Earlier, I mentioned that our producer told me that you are the son of General Fabian Ver. Mali daw pala. You are the second cousin of General Fabian Ver. Your grandfathers are brothers. Is that correct?
I thought that was a personal question. I don't know. I didn't know it was
we just wanted to set the record straight. Okay, thank you, Ambassador. First of all, if you could give us a general sense of the situation there, as well as well, you're not part of the risk level, the crisis alert levels, but what's going on there on the ground?
Yes, because we're abiding by their own security and safety protocols here, and it's all very stable. Everyone is trusting the government system. It's 1 o'clock here, and there has been no new projectile today since early this morning, and it's all stable. You can really feel that all the services, emergency services, and even the defense capabilities in intercepting all the projectiles that have been hurled here. If I saw a graphic that almost 1,000 missiles and drones have been fired at the UAE, more than all the others combined. No? I think even more than Israel itself. And a vast majority of these have been intercepted and destroyed up there in the atmosphere, and how they take care of the nationals who are here now, not just their own nationals, but all of us, Filipino expats, and over 200 nationalities here. We are 1 million Filipinos, I just say, and I'd like to say that, let's divide it into two muna. Those who are residents here, have been working here, including me, I've been here for a few years. We have full faith, trust, and confidence in the safety that we are enjoying here. The advice is shelter in place or stay safe in your homes. And that is, and just listen to official news. Even us, the embassy, we are open. Actually, today we're keeping our lines open, communication lines. And the other hand are those who are stranded now because, Dubai and the UAE is a very busy hub. So yung mga naka-stranded ngayon or in their hotels, the government has committed that they will pay. They will shoulder the extension, the extra days that they will stay, and they will cover the booking fees. And for example, Emirates and Etihad Airlines, visas that might expire during the time because of this crisis. Even passports that they will be allowed to leave. They're assuring everyone that prices remain stable and food is available. There's no panic buying. So you can really sense from the community and our own individual individuals and community organizations. They're the ones who are really stating and telling social media how safe and how lucky they are that they are here in the UAE.
Ambassador, they plan to cover the expenses related to being stranded or being stuck there. That goes for only OFWs or even the Filipino tourists that are there?
All nationals.
Oh, okay.
All foreigners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Including those in transit, sir, no?
Including the ones that are
Yes,
just...
those are because Dubai is a very big transit
Yes, sir.
hub. So
Yes, sir.
of course, you also have a large tourist population. So maraming mga naipit sa kanilang mga hotels. So yeah, they will be given free stays if they overstay their original booking, for example.
But sir, are there any
Ambassador, may
recommendations?
isang mayor daw and 11 vice mayors. One mayor and 11 vice mayors stranded in Dubai. Kumusta po sila?
If they are in their hotel, they are safe there. But I've heard that report. Our consulate, we have a consulate general in Dubai, so that's where the bulk of the population is. I heard that report, and
Yes.
many are safe in their hotels, but hindi na sila pinapayagan lumabas, mamasyal and everything. So, but covered sila, and hopefully the recovery flights or even the regular flights open soon. There are limited flights now out of Dubai Airport and Abu Dhabi Airport. I think one in Manila will be scheduled soon. So I think sana tuloy-tuloy na.
Oh,
So
Ano
there are
pong ginagawa ng
flights.
vice mayors? What are the vice mayors doing in Dubai?
I don't know.
and
Maybe I think there are.
and sorry, you're not in Doha, sir. Sorry, not Dubai. You're not in Dubai.
Abu Dhabi.
You're in Abu
is the
Dhabi.
capital.
Okay, I thought you were in
Yeah,
Dubai.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
So sir, there are flights right now, but limited.
Dubai is the real happening place, no? So puro Dubai.
Yeah.
That's the real place to be.
Of course,
and
yeah.
it's around 160 kilometers away.
Yes, sir. So sir, so there are flights right now, but they're limited. Kasi we are
Yes,
under the impression that the flights were talagang postponed or suspended completely.
Unti-unti, starting this morning.
Okay.
They started with those. I think they started with those who needed to come back from outside, and I'm updated every now and then. So now I just been informed that there might be a flight to the Philippines today. Actually, it was yung meron naman daily schedule. Like for example, for Emirates, there are at least 3 flights a day. So kung bumalik lahat yung regular schedule na yon, so they're starting one. Might leave early evening today. We're waiting for it to be full, talagang confirmed. No? So yesterday, it was a go, but a few hours before na-cancel.
That only began today.
Yeah, since yesterday, sisimula na dapat na unti-unting buksan, then suddenly there was an advice na hinold muna. Actually, the new advice was until 12 midnight tonight, sarado pa rin. But fortunately, siguro nag-iba din. It's very fluid situation. They're adapting to the developments. And ngayon, may mga pinayagan na flights.
Mga how many percent, sir, yung so far operational na yung flights coming in and out of Dubai and Abu Dhabi? Tansya?
Sa Abu Dhabi, I really saw a number na hopefully 48 nga sana yesterday. No? But these are very big airports. These are very busy hub. But suddenly na-cancel. But meron mga nagtuloy na talagang emergency and even some cargo flights, siguro maybe for supplies so that they can replenish their supplies here. But it's Ramadan here. It's really quiet for Ramadan. But it's like business as usual. Here we're open, everything, and we're just waiting for any advice because the airlines, if you're confirmed and if there is a flight for you, they will send you a text. They want you can only go to the airport if you receive a text from your airline to go and proceed para hindi magsiksikan dun sa airport, para hindi magulo at lahat nag-aabang ng flights doon. So it's very organized, part of the way they do stuff here. And the communication, even the alerts are done through your phone, through text. It's not sirens na nakakagulat pa. So you receive at least 2-3 texts if there's one incoming, and they're handling it, and another text saying that the coast is clear, you can go out, but still practice safety protocols.
But,
Ambassador,
go ahead, Ami.
Ambassador, sabi ni US President Trump, this could take about a month. So baka meron pa rin tuloy-tuloy yung disruption. No, and I know they're talking in Malacanang about possibility of evacuation by land. papunta sa isang lugar where they can take flights. Viable ba yun? How viable is that?
Right now, there are many who are taking it. It's a land route to Oman. So
Yes.
from Dubai, they go to the border for a land trip. There's a border there, about an hour to get to the border. Pero right now, maraming nag-avail and they'll try that path. So I think there's a backlog at the border, processing to enter. And then from there, because Oman airspace is open, but mas limited yung flights doon. So I know one family who departed this morning and they crossed the border and but pagdating doon, magbubook ka rin kasi humaba na rin ang pila. Sama po even from here bago pa lang pumunta doon. So nagkakagipitan na rin. But hopefully kung mag-recover na rin mga flights dito, there's no need maybe to go there and just wait for your turn. I understand Cebu Pacific will return to service on Monday. So hopefully nga talagang you turn the page by that time na.
But then, I mean, it's good it's quiet now, Ambassador, but to Ami's point, I don't think there's expectations that this will not be a short war. At this point, no one is backing down. The U.S., as Ami said, has already said it will do whatever it takes. And even the UAE apparently is considering the possibility of a military strike as well. So my question is, what is the contingency plan there if this erupts again?
Right now, UAE said that they will not be used for offensive. They're just doing defense and they're doing a very good job. But they won't use their airspace as a staging point for example, retaliating Iran. So, but last night we had a briefing for the diplomatic corps, and there were queries that if there are already diplomatic initiatives that are being undertaken. But right now, talks are continuous. Many leaders are really finding ways that maybe to end this as quickly as possible. But of course, we really don't know. But as of now, here in UAE, it's as safe as you can get.
Is there a lot of interest among OFWs then to return to the Philippines? Kasi parang konti. I think sa Middle East, almost just a little over 1,000 pa lang. So far, so far.
Yes, actually, yung first report namin, ang na-publish to less than 300, 270, 280.
Yes.
But that already represents the whole bulk of those who ask for assistance, pati nagtanong lang kung ano man. Yung actual ko siguro mga 80, 70. Pero dumadami na because that was since last Monday. But you can also see na nararamdaman din ng mga tao na bumababa na rin yung mga pumapasok na mga missiles or drones. But still, right now, 150 inquiries, mga ganun, 150, 160. So, at yung mga iba doon, hindi pa desidido. Talagang nagtatanong pa lang. So, we're also waiting because plans will have to be formulated from Manila side kung may mga planes na doon, their assets and logistics. And if once they tell us that ready na and airspace here is fully clear and is safe, we start asking for landing clearances and permits for these flights to come and pick up repatriate.
Ambassador, where I got the idea that UAE is considering military action is from the American media, and I just looked it up again. For example, Axios is saying UAE is considering taking military action to stop Iranian missile and drone strikes on the country. That's not for us to, prognosticate about. All I'm interested in is what the Philippines is doing to ensure the safety of its citizens. And then secondly, UAE is, of course, the second largest source of crude oil for the Philippines. I wonder if you're part of discussions at all in terms of how to mitigate the impact of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
Yes, well, as you know, 25% of oil passes through there from this oil-rich area. And right now, it's because of the threats of the attacks, I think it's not being used now. But so I saw an interview also this morning of our ambassador to the U.S., Pedro Malde. So it said might also look for other sources, and I think that's what you have to do: look for other sources and mitigate the effects of any shortages in supply. Perhaps understand now there are talks of increasing gas prices in the Philippines. So that's why hopefully sana matapos na rin ito, and no one wants. There's so many countries involved here that it will affect the entire global economy. So we're just hopeful that that's resolved as soon as possible.
Ambassador, tell us what life is like dyan. May schools pa ba? May office? At pag lumalabas kayo sa bahay, anong ginagawa nyo? Tumatakbo ba kayo? Mabilis?
Hindi.
Anong buhay dyan?
No, kung makakapag-video lang ako sa labas. But now it's work from home. It's work from home for those and those who work, for example, in the employers' houses. We're telling them that that's the safest place to be. Tapos it's distance learning now, and I think it's extended until Friday. Pati kami, we're here open at the embassy. We're telling them na don't take unnecessary risks, although we are open but for an emergency, but they're still coming kasi nga sir, we're taking advantage of the lull. So pumupunta sila. And I'm very glad that so many Filipino individuals, organizations, they're taking it upon themselves to counter disinformation. I think ang dami na yatang lumalabas dyan sa TikTok and everywhere, hyping up na ganito or making up AI-generated, nakahalo-halo na, anggulo na, sumasabog na. And it's the Filipinos here themselves who are sending their own counter information, really proving na, and really showing that what the UAE government is very generous and very efficient. For example, last Saturday you might have seen the fire in one of the hotels in Dubai.
Yes, Dubai.
Even it was Fairmont, so akala ng mga tao na tina-target yun. Well, in an hour, tapos na. 4 lang yung injured, all treated. Akala nila targeted. So that's one thing. If it's intercepted up in the air, it becomes in debris. Yun, hindi na natin alam ang napupuntahan. Like for example, sa atin, kung New Year, you fire a gun up, hindi na natin alam saan napupunta. So, manapektuhan na gano'n. Last Sunday at the Abu Dhabi airport here, may debris na nagland na malapit sa airport. So, may mga shrapnel ng konti, may broken glass and parts, metal parts. May Pilipina na natakbo, siya, nabubog siya ng konti. Very minor, and she was treated on site. So thank God that's our only casualty. Kumbaga, very minor injury. She went back to her employer. I talked to her the other night, and nagulat nga yung employer niya, bakit ang dahil tumatawag ng taga-embassy na ito. Very concerned. But umuwi lang siya, parang lumabas lang, umuwi lang. So, you can go online and see people are, sometimes they're looking at and trying to take videos of incoming projectiles and pinapagbawal na rin kasi aside from the fact na may danger sa'yo or you might spread disinformation, it could also be used for, minomonitor din yan ng kumbaga ng kalaban na tinitignan nila na, alam dito pala yun, they will use your video, dito pala, hindi tama, baka ibahin natin as in like. So it could be used. So, and they're very strict against spreading disinformation and false videos out there. That's why yesterday they even did a national briefing with their military, their diplomatic, all the economic managers and their top officials, really assuring the public that this is what we're doing and how successful they have been.
Ambassador, last month we just signed the free trade agreement with the UAE.
Yes.
You think if this war gets protracted, that might get affected? Because I think that a lot of optimism or hope is riding on that FTA na it could help revive the economy here.
Yes, it's a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, and actually we were one of the first countries that we offered to conclude that, and it will open up so many opportunities, including movement of persons, not just goods and services. So, and this UAE is now the hub here in the GCC more than, I would say, Saudi Arabia. There are more Filipinos here actually than in Saudi Arabia already. So, malaki talaga. So, we really need to, if we can do help, we also add our advice, and we can also our diplomatic efforts on how we can also have resolved this, so it will be good for everyone.
But do you think it might have an impact on the rollout of the agreements underneath it?
It's ano naman, and it's going to undertake ratification, so that take ratification process. But the promise, the expectation that we have for it, so sana nga ma-materialize, and I hope this is not a bump on the road.
Okay. Okay, we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for talking to us, Ambassador Alfonso Ver, Philippine Ambassador to the
Just take
UAE.
this opportunity
Thank you, sir.
to kumbaga mananawagan.
Go ahead, sir.
Diyan lagi na yung mga kinakabahan o natatakot, Please, we are okay here. We are safe under the mantle of protection of this very kind and generous government. We are standing in solidarity with them. Filipinos here are safe and sound, and we continue to update everyone. And I'm calling all of them they can call on us anytime. Our lines of communication are open. So please just rely on official information and official sources. And sana nga magsimula na yung manumbalik yung mga return flights, and tuluyan ng manumbalik din sa buhay natin dito sa Dubai, as you know it.
Ambassador, what are the official channels? Is there a hotline? Is there a website? Where can people go?
We have a Facebook, we have our website. I can't flash it now, but we just added a new advisory actually today, calling on people, all they are open. You might want to postpone your plans, and we will honor all appointments, and but still people are coming. So it's this available in our social media outlets.
Is that Philippine Embassy to the UAE?
Yes.
I'm looking it up now. Yes, Philippine Embassy in UAE, the one with the check mark, guys. Make sure that it's the verified page that you're following and reaching out to. That's the official channel of the embassy, and they have posted advisories there on where you can go if you need help and are stranded, or essentially any kind of help. So we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for talking to us, Ambassador Ver. We appreciate your time. And be safe. Stay safe.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Shukran.
Shukran.
Ayan. Tatasan ko, baka tumaas ang kuryente, baka tumaas ang pamasahe.
Tumaas na, Ami.
Yung fuel yun. Fuel.
Pump prices have gone up.
190 for gasoline.
No, there's another one. I think I will look it
Kahapon?
up. May projections na
For next
Mga
week.
graduation
For
nyo daw,
next week.
simplihan nyo lang, mga graduation nyo. Austerity.
may projections na up to 12 pesos per liter. Projections pa lang yan. But baka umabot ng 12 pesos per liter yung increase for diesel, and for gas up to 6 pesos per liter increase, which are, you know,
Baka maihabol
shocking.
nila yung pag-cut ng excise tax para bumaba.
Well,
Para mabawasan yung akyat lang.
so that's the other thing.
Para mabawasan.
That's the other thing. Walang automatic mechanism that will suspend excise taxes when Brent crude hits $80 a barrel. That provision, na may nakita ko mga misinformation online, that provision expired with the train law in 2020.
Yeah.
At the moment, walang provision, which is why President Marcos still has to go to Congress and ask for emergency powers in
emergency
order
power.
to suspend excise taxes, because otherwise there's no legal mechanism for him to be able to do so at this point. So he needs to do that. I don't know how soon he can get that done, because of course lumagpas na $80 a barrel ang Brent crude, and there are some forecasts that it may also hit up to, I don't know, over $100 a barrel, which we last saw
Mukhang ano naman.
in
Mukhang nagmamadali din naman yung Congress.
Ukraine. Nung pumunta kay
Was it Ukraine? Lumagpas ba ng $100? I think it was COVID. Hindi ba?
COVID? Ukraine was 2022.
Yes, COVID was 2020, so Ukraine was 2020.
But COVID was walang travel ng COVID.
Walang gumagalaw noon. No?
Walang gumagalaw ng COVID.
Walang
Mali,
gumagalaw ng
sorry, hindi pala
COVID.
COVID. 90s, I think. I have to look it up. When was the last time we...
Baka that was the first Gulf War nung 1991. When Saddam invaded Kuwait. There was something more recent than that. Sobra ka naman.
Which was Ukraine.
I'm not sure
Or Gaza.
if it was Ukraine. No, not Gaza. Well, could be Ukraine, but I'm not really sure. So I don't want to guess. But it was more recent than 1991. Grabe ka naman.
Was it
Schwarzkopf
Venezuela?
and Colin Powell pa yun eh.
Venezuela? Because Venezuela is a key oil player.
Yung kay Maduro? No. Much earlier than that.
Kakampi ng US naman yung napalit eh.
It was much earlier than that.
At nakikiusap ang gobyerno sa mga retailers, manufacturers, huwag naman daw muna kayong magtaas ng presyo ng mga goods. Yan.
Did I hear, Ambassador, right? There are some Filipinos who are trying to travel by land to Amman?
Oman.
Kasi yun ang sinasabi sa amin ng ano eh.
Oman.
Ang layo ng Amman eh.
Oman.
Not Amman, Jordan. Oman.
And Oman din kasi is it's already beyond the Strait of Hormuz eh. Oman is facing the Gulf of Oman.
Kaya from there daw, baka lang makakuha ng flight going out.
You are correct.
Magla-land evacuation muna.
You are correct. So the last time it hit $100 a barrel was early 2022.
It was February
during the Ukraine invasion.
When Russia declared its special military operation.
And before that, it was 2014. But yun nga, I'm already seeing some forecasts that it could hit $100 a barrel, depending on how protracted this war
Sinasabi
is.
mong 1991, nasa Malacanang pa kami ni Ami nun eh.
Yung
may nakuryente nga nun eh. Sabi ko,
yung original Gulf War.
Magkakaroon ng mass evacuation ng camels. Camel evacuation.
Camel evacuation. Grabe ka man, Ami. Okay, we'll leave that there. But thank you for joining Storycon today. Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao, kapatid. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.